So we're going to talk about mending jeans today. My husband used to wear these for good, but they've got a big hole in them now. So we're going to give them a second life, and he's going to wear them to work. And I'm going to patch this so that his legs will stay nice and warm. But to start, we're going to take this old pair of pants. My son grew out of them. They've already worn out. So I save things like this. And then I'll cut the patch out of this. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to cut off the bottom. It's cotton. You could do whatever you want with it. I'm going to come up the seams until I think I have a piece big enough. Now, I like to use the back of the pant leg. You can see this is still in really good shape. Whereas if you go to the front, that's where all the wear gets. So, back looks practically like brand new denim. Okay, so this patch should be plenty big to cover this. All right, next thing we have to do is we're going to prepare the pant. Now, sometimes I patch up here on a pair of pants, and that's really easy. I just go in from the top. But when it's in the middle of the leg, on the knee, I've got to get access to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the pants inside out, and I'm going to come along, and I'm going to seam rip out all of this seam so I have a nice flat surface to work on. So let me get that ready. All right, so see here now the pant leg is inside out, and you can see this is exactly where I need to patch. So this seam along here, go about 4 inches up from the tear and 4 inches down, and I'm going to seam rip with this handy little tool right here. I'm going to just take out these stitches all along here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check and see that this is coming away from itself. Now this job doesn't have to be pretty. This is just for him to wear these to work. Usually if I mend his pants, he'll get another 6 months wear out of them. And sometimes longer, just depends on the time of year. This is probably the most time consuming part of mending. It's just getting it prepared to mend. All right, that should be plenty of room. So now we're going to turn the jeans right side out again. Okay, so this is a sewing machine I have. I've had it for several years. It's a Husqvarna Viking. It's just a great, simple machine. I actually bought this used at my local sewing machine shop. Great way to get your machine. The people who are selling them, they're also working on them. They know exactly the type of machine that they're sending out the door, and they know how to help you with what you need. So I'm just going to get it threaded. I'm just using some old leftover thread I have. I actually just, use whatever for this. It doesn't, like I said, doesn't need to look pretty. So I'll get my machine threaded really quick. Okay, I've got the machine threaded. I'm going to take this part off. It just gives me a little bit more maneuverability. Got my patch right here. I'm not going to need this whole patch, but I like to cut them a little bit bigger just to be sure I've got plenty of room. So, see, now the pant's going to fit neatly over this so that I can get all this wear and get down to where the denim is, the thread's going to hold well in the denim. If I just patch right in this area, this is just going to tear out in no time. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here. Those are my stitch choices. I'm going to go to number 2, which is a zigzag. and I'm going to be number 2 right here. This is my stitch length. So I'm at 1.5. That's where I like to be. And then up here, this is my stitch width. So that's going to say how wide my zigzag is, which I like to go fairly wide because you've got more coverage. So first thing I'm going to do, and you might pin it if you've never done this before, but I've been doing it for a lot of years, so I don't pin it. I'm going to get this in here. So I've got the patch nice and flat. You can see here's the hole, and we've got the patch so it goes a couple inches on each side of the hole. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, just a real simple shape. It's just going to be a square. I'm going to stitch all the way down here, like I said, where the denim is still in good condition. I'm going to come all the way across and down to this side. So we'll have a whole patch there. And then we're going to go in here to the center area, and we're going to work on that and strengthening that area up too. Okay, so I can feel that second layer of denim right underneath there with my hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right down here. Make sure I've left plenty of room on this side of the hole so that we get all of that in there. And I'm just going to make a straight line, and I'm going to use a zigzag stitch. Now this whole time I'm feeling the denim underneath my hand, making sure that this is still flat and nice and that I know where those edges are. Like I said, if you've never done this before, put some pins in it and that'll make it go for you. That'll go easier for you. All right, I can feel where that denim ends. Now I'm just going to pivot my machine. This part can be a little bit trickier because you've got all this denim on this side of your machine, but just kind of try to, you know, take it easy. Make sure you know where your denim ends. So I'm going to leave the needle down, pick up the foot, and I'm going to pivot again. And I'm just going to kind of carefully push this denim through here. Again, just double checking, making sure that I don't have the other side of my leg pinned underneath there. All I want underneath my machine is this one piece that's my patch and the piece that's on the top, the front of the leg. Now we're going to go back down. Put the foot up. Again, the needle is going through the thread. That's holding my needle or my material there in place so I don't lose track of where I'm supposed to be. And that needle's just holding it in place. Now I'm going to come across. Okay, you can see inside the pant leg, I've got it all the way around the patch. I'll go in when I'm done and I'll trim all this up. Okay, now it's time to work on this part. We want to reinforce this area so that this doesn't get caught on something and then just tear out worse. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to come around this much closer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to zigzag across it this way. And that's just going to, because this denim is, it's warm. It's not going to hold, so it needs extra reinforcement. All right, we're going to start doing around the actual hole area. right, so we've gotten all the way around the hole, and pretty simple. But I will say, sometimes I make mistakes. I got lucky I didn't make any mistakes today. But if I do, this little tool right here, you just take that seam out really quick and you just try again. The only mistake that can't be fixed while mending work pants is cutting something off you're not supposed to. So if you accidentally catch the back of your pant leg or you didn't get your seam straight as you want, use your seam ripper, pull it out, bam, start again. No big deal. I'm just going to zigzag back and forth over the hole here. I'm going to be using my reverse a lot, and I'll show you guys when I'm done. Alright, so I must have jinxed myself, but you can see here, I caught the back of this pant leg right here on the corner. I was trying to be extra careful, but still, hey, we all... So I'm just going to seam rip this out. Alright, see? Quick. I'm going to go ahead and flip this back over and tighten this back up more carefully this time. Alright, so this is like triple reinforced, right? So we've got it outside here, then we've gone here, and we've gone all the way around the hole, and then I've gone in and zigzagged all through here. Next step is turn it inside out again, because we've still got this we've got to put back together. All right, I've got it turned inside out. I'm going to go ahead and do just a light trim around here. Okay, got it trimmed up. And now I'm going to close this leg back up. But first, I'm going to take it off the zigzag stitch. Alright, so you can see here, this is stitched, and then they've done a serger to keep it from fraying. I don't really worry about that. This is work pants now. They're mending pants. I'm probably going to have to pull these pants open and mend them again in a couple months. And so I'm not going to double stitch this. I'm just going to single stitch. I'm just going to follow that manufacturer line down here, and then I'll kind of double the stitch up here for a minute, put it into reverse, and then go back into forward, and that'll just kind of keep that stitch sure and steady there. I like to put the first stitch in just with my hand on the wheel of the machine. Make sure I'm lined up where I need to be. I've got my needle in so my denim cannot move. And then I'm just I started up a little bit higher than where I first took my stitches out. So reinforce there. Okay, here we are at the end. I'm going to put in reverse. Just double that stitch down so it'll just give it extra strength. Couple of things. One, don't use kitchen scissors in the sewing room. Get a pair of sewing scissors. I have these Gingers. I've had them, they're good scissors. And when they get dull, I take them into my sewing machine repairman and he sharpens them for me. But don't use those Fiskars you get at Costco or just kitchen scissors. Not gonna work for you. And here they are, mended and ready to be worn again. So this is just a normal denim, but you know, a lot of times guys wear those heavy duty work pants. If you are new to mending, I do not recommend you start with a pair of double knees or even the canvas pants. Start on a pair of denim. And you know, that'll be an easy shot for you. But once you have more experience, you can take on those heavy duty work jeans or double knees. But for now, just start with just single denim like this. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I'll try to be as helpful as I can. Take care and have a good night.